Welcome to BUNIYAAD podcast by Dr. Monica Nagpal. We did not inherit this world like this. Then how can we give this to our next generation in this form? We need to reflect mindfully on our core values and make conscious efforts towards protecting the planet and also achieve all sustainable development goals. With BUNIYAAD, I, Monica Nagpal, will bring to fore sustainability champions who are striving to bring back harmony with the nature and also dignity of each life. Today we are having as guest Paramjeet Kaur Dhillon from Phagwara, Amritsar. Welcome, ma'am, to the show.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am is a principal. She's actually a founder principal, and today she is a principal admin and innovation of Kamla Nehru School in Phagwara. She will now introduce herself, and you'll be amazed what kind of work she has been doing, how this school has reached to the corners of the world, the name, and what all the school children have been doing with the inspiration of their founder principal. Ma'am, please introduce yourself.
I am basically a teacher and a learner, I believe, all my life. Fortunate to be the founder principal of the school, put in about good 18 years in the school. If I talk about my total tenure of working as a principal, it's good 29 years. So that's how it goes. And then a national level hockey player, a university topper, a gold medalist, and talking about other things, about my passion. My passion is just SDGs, practicing, preaching, and promoting SDGs. In living in Jalandhar and working in Phagwara, and Phagwara is another district in Punjab, just as Amritsar is. All right, yes. I think that's enough to begin with. And yes, you can shoot more questions.
Yes, absolutely. So when I was talking to one of the other guests and Rukia ma'am, she gave me the insight into how one corner of India there is this school who is going great guns regarding SDGs. And I was wondering, how can a school in Punjab, so to say, which is famous for so many other things, doing SDG work in one small district called Phagwara. And that led me to ma'am here. And today we are here very fortunate to see that what all she has done and how one person again can be that drop which can lead to a big ocean. So ma'am, how did you stumble upon sustainability?
Fortunate. In the sense, it was 2015 when I came across that the SDGs, 193 countries, the leaders they've signed a memorandum and called for an action to make a planet better, people better, happier, sustainable world. And it was in December 2015 when I had the first interaction with all my staff members, look, this is what the world talks about, and this is what we need to adopt, because education is about sustainability. Education is about building a better world, apart from studying all of physics and sciences and EVS and mathematics in our classroom. It is a world beyond our classroom, which we really need to prepare our children for. So in January 2016, we had the first innovation festival in our school when grade 8 was given this topic that you talk about sustainable development goal. This innovative festival, or the learning marketplace as we called it, would be that every class is given a topic and they are supposed to change their classes into an exhibition where they talk about everything. So grade 8 was the first one to start. And ever since January 2016, there is no looking back. January 2016 is the one when actually everything was implemented, though it was all talked about in in 2015 as such. The implementation started from January. That's the time we started. And then since that time, we have been working all the while on sustainable development goal. The result is every child in our school knows what sustainable development goal is. They know what their responsibility is. The teachers are aware of sustainable development goals. We have mapped the entire curriculum with sustainable development goals. In the sense, if this chapter is about environment, and if it is talking about life below water, then this is goal number 14. And if it is talking about life over land, it's goal number 15. So that's how we have gone ahead. If it is gender equality, then it is goal number 6. This is the way the classes, when the topic is taught and the teacher asks, which goal is this related to, SDG goal? And the children are all there to speak out. Our birthday cards, they have SDG ring, color ring. When the child is celebrating a birthday, we invite the child on the stage. That's a procedure. And the child comes, is handed a card which has the birthday wishes along with the SDG written over there. The top and the bottom below, we have the SDG, all the 17 colors. And the child says, oh, I love or I support SDG 16 or I support SDG 3. So they come and talk about it. And then the entire school cheers them up. It's in our heads. It's in our hearts. It is in our special assemblies. It is in annual functions. It is in our sports meet. Everywhere you'll find SDGs. They are visible in our school. That's how SDGs are in our school.
Amazing. So this is what one leader can do. She is that one leader who can actually make this difference in every person who is there in the school. And most importantly, to the students. And also more importantly, the teachers who are supporting her. Because if the teachers are not supporting to what she has to do in the class, then the principal alone cannot do anything. So kudos to all the teachers who have been supporting her for all the causes that she has been creating in her own school. And now every child has actually embodied the SDGs. So as she says, it is mind in the heart, it is in their practice. So they have actually embodied. And what a beautiful way to celebrate the birthday. Because this is what they have to understand, that if they are going to do what they are going to do for SDGs, they are going to have beautiful birthdays in the future. Otherwise, the birthdays will be without water and without anything else around, which is so important for living. So thank you, ma'am, for what you're doing actually. And I know a lot of impact has been created, and she has, she'll talk in a minute about the impact she was able to create during the COVID, which is a impact that time. Before we talk about what she's doing today. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I believe COVID was a turning point in her life. And sometimes I feel it was a blessing in disguise, because lots of empowerment happened during COVID times. We were more engaged through IT, and that is a time when we had n number of friends online. We initiated a project which was known as Rise Up for SDGs. And in this project, we had more than 10,000 students, 600 educators, and we had some 165 countries. We started in January 2021. We ended in September. 17 goals. So we had, every month we had 2 online meetings where we talked about what was the goal. We gave structured activities to the students. Students were participating. It was a beautiful engagement which happened. And it was a beautiful time when lots of bonding appeared between the educators of India and the global world as such. We became a global educator community. Until that now, that community is working and supporting SDGs. So feel very happy and satisfied. We never work for prizes or for some feathers in your cap. You work because you want to educate children that SDGs are important for their life to build a sustainable world, a healthy planet. There's no planet B, so that's it. And for this particular Rise Up for SDGs, we were acknowledged. And we got the biggest impact award by Microsoft, who saw us working. So that was one thing which we loved, followed by another project. It was all about e-waste, that because of COVID, everybody wanted to be very fast. When it comes to teachers for training, teaching in the classroom, children for the mobiles, not to waste a single minute, we started changing our devices and throw away the existing devices instead of upgrading it, plenty of e-waste. So how to recycle those e-waste in the right terms and in the right norm. India being a developing country, we were going through plenty of poisonous gases and thrown
Right.
in water
Right.
and all those things.
Absolutely.
It was
Absolutely.
all in enlightenment. And there also we were acknowledged at international level for taking up this rise up for e-waste.
Wow. So they have risen up. They have risen up from a state of, you can say, hopelessness, that no, we cannot do anything about, to empowerment. They are empowered themselves, and now they're also empowering other schools around the globe. Lot of schools, when we were having an intro session with ma'am, she was telling how teachers from Bangladesh were reaching out them to teach them how to use Microsoft Teams.
Yes,
And
exactly.
that was so amazing. Like India being a country and coming to her school, a school which would have been unknown. Like it is not a very big league school. It is not an Ivy League school for that matter. But this is one thing which these people are doing even better than any other school, I must say, because they are working at grassroots. They're teaching children actually to live a life which is going to be sustainable. No, the sustainable life. So I'm really again thanking you, ma'am, for what you are doing. I will now come to the topic of what is her present project, which is going to go live now, which is Rise Up for Peace. And
Yes.
we are touching the SDG 16. And before we dive into that, I will just like to read about that, some data regarding that. So SDG 16 is all about to promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective and accountable and inclusive institutions at all levels. And the data says that steep rise in conflict-related civilian deaths with an over 50% surge in 2022, fueled by war in Ukraine. So it is because 2022, it is only talking about war in Ukraine. There is no mention of the other war which has started and which would have started yesterday or may start even today
Yes.
and tomorrow. So these two another wars which would be just right there. So it is without those two wars. So it is even more than. Then he says 108.4 million people had been forcibly displaced worldwide. So the refugees are worldwide now. No, so how those children are managing who are really studying in their schools and now they're out of their country. So their plight. The highest number of intentional homicides in 20 years is 458,000 lives lost. And it says 9 in 10 victims were male. So mental problems, whatever is leading, is going for homicide. So this is very, very dangerous situation again. And then nearly 200,000 trafficking victims were detected worldwide between 2017 to 2022. So again, all of this is a very, very situation which is not very right situation to be in if we are taking about talking about the sustainable development goals in for the future. We are stuck still on climate change, which everybody knows, but this goal SDG 16, which is talking about peace, is equally important. So, ma'am, I will now request you to share what we are going to do for this goal.
So SDG 16 is peace, justice, and strong institution. It's supposed to be the cornerstone of all SDGs,
Yes.
right? If everything goes well, there'll be peace.
Yeah.
If there's good education, there'll be peace. If there's no gender bias, if there's gender equality, there'll be peace. If there's good health, there'll be peace. So
Yes.
all these SDGs are interrelated, and SDG 16 is the cornerstone, which we have taken up right now. So in this, we have initiated a project now. This is in collaboration with UNODC, that is United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes. And we partnered together and along with all other education partners who have joined us. If I talk about students and the educators who have registered and the countries, then it's big numbers. Till date, all educators, the students who have registered, they are 26,291. Talking about teachers, it's 653. Schools and universities who have registered for this project is 227. So it's all using Microsoft Forms. So the data is very authentic, and we have all evidences for all that I'm saying. If I talk about NGOs, we have about 40 NGOs, and the number of countries from where we have the schools and the educators, they are 38 in all. January was the month when we planned everything. February, we had a pre-launch, and then followed by a launch, and then we call it dialogues now. Then we had a dialogue wherein the teacher empowerment took place on SDGs and what SDG 16 is all about, all those who had joined us. During a launch, we had representatives from NCRT, and we also had representatives from CBSE. And before I move ahead, let me tell you, our school is in a village. The name of the village is Chakaki. We cater to children from nearly 70 villages.
Wow.
So these students are, they have a thirst to do something better in their life. We are from Punjab, so obviously most of the children, their parents have gone abroad to greener pastures, but they do all have smartphones and they have an access to IT. And at the same time, the parents, they want that the children should be empowered when it comes to communication skills in English and when it comes to using the devices, the IT skills. So we're looking into these two aspects, and because then, SDG 4 is all about quality education. So that's what quality speaks about. So now, once we have done this, and we have now the fifth, actually the procedure is we go for structured activities. We have a concept note, and in this concept note, the entire journey, which began in January, which would be over in December, is already laid out. So apart from these virtual sessions, we'll be having hybrid sessions also, where children sitting in the school can join with children sitting in other school. SDG 16 is lots about empowerment of youth so that they can visualize and build a world the type they want. So their role becomes vital, and keeping that in mind, most of the activities are focused on youth. Now, these structured activities, creating awareness is one thing what SDG 16 is all about. So we go for K-12 activities, even the kindergarten. They are writing small messages, drawing a small little thing. We use all IT tools. We use Flipgrid, where the child records his, 15-second video and say, I stand up for peace, because peace is energy, peace is empowerment, and peace help us to perform better. So we have given them prompts as such. So there are about 20, 25 prompts. Children can use it, and all the voices are recorded on the Flipgrid, and the result is each one can see the other one. We went for another activity. I wanted it's collaborative. So we wanted that the children should know what petition is all about. And so we have an online petition. And if I had seen it yesterday night, and it was 1,373 who have already signed this petition. The target is 10,000 students from all around the globe to sign it. And then we have other art integration is what CBSE talks about. And then art is live. Art is not only drawing, painting, it is also dancing, it is singing, it is enactment, it's a street play.
Everything creative, yes.
Yeah. So we want that they should understand SDG 16 through all these creative activities. So they have been, they record the videos, and then they again put it on another link on the Flipgrid. We use Wakelet, where all the teachers are putting all their students creatives which they prepare. We also release an e-newsletter which would be shared during Dialogue 5, which is on 27. I call upon all people who are going to listen to me or who are listening to me, please make sure you register for this activity and join us on 27, and your students can also join. So in this e-newsletter, all their artwork, all their voices, all their creativities, we often go for activities for the parents also. We go for photo stunts so that the community is involved and they send a message of peace. We have a photo stunt wherein they even go for a for a catwalk for SDG 16. We do everything possible to make it interesting so that it
Right.
leaves an impact on that. Now, when I talk about peace or SDG 16, it's not limited to that white dove which you see. It's not
Yes.
limited to that olive,
Yeah.
leaf and the twig which you see. It's beyond it. Ma'am
Yes.
has already shared, but it is about young people and their mental health. It is about the rule of law, a rule of land and justice. It's about prevention of corruption. It is
Mm.
about digital citizenship and cybersecurity. It is about drugs and organized crime. How can we stop it? It's about access to justice, a child or a person who's gone through problem can never reach the justice system as such. FIR is not lodged. So
Mm.
sad. Your case is not heard for many, many years. What can be done about it? It's all about discriminations, gender inequality, which is prevalent. It's all about caste, color, creed.
Correct.
SDG 16 is versatile. It
Absolutely.
touches so many things, So that's why we felt that why not SDG 16? So we took it over. And now this is it's a beautiful task with UNODC's collaboration and with all the partner educators who have joined us to take this forward till December. So we
Yeah.
have the country ambassadors, we have Indian regional ambassadors to organize it and, to plan out better. That's how we are going for it.
Amazing. This is so amazing. I must tell you, we have a lot of appreciation for what you are doing, ma'am. And I was just asking her about her family, and she shared an anecdote about her daughter, her granddaughter who was there in America, and how she was able to recognize that how her grandmother is doing, because the child didn't know anything about SDGs, but it was introduced in the school. And when the video was shown, she was amazed to see her own grandmother speaking in that video from India. So, how proud a moment that would have been for the family, that their own grandmother is there in front of the whole school in the class. The child would have really felt so proud.
A
Yes, please.
correction here. My name was flashed in the video, which was all about environment and sustainability. It was
Yes,
that people who are working in India for sustainability, and then my name featured, and she was very, very excited, and she talked about. So
yes,
I wasn't speaking in that video,
yes,
but the
yes,
name
yes.
was flashed.
Yeah,
Yes,
name was flashed, and she recognized that, and she was very proud. And she
yes.
came home and she was telling that to her own father, and that I today I saw my grandmother's name there, representing India. So this is the work that ma'am is doing here. From a small corner of the world, she has reached to the whole world. So every individual who is now feeling that they can do something, just don't feel it. Just take that action. You can actually do something about SDGs. So that is what we will ask ma'am now to share some practical tips. Already she has shared a lot of tips actually, but still on a go, what as an individual somebody can do, especially for SDG 16.
Okay. So this is a big one. We are having a Rise Up for Peace Festival. They're going to celebrate peace. And how do we celebrate peace? We have about 41 class sections as such. Then we have all the labs and all these 3 computer labs. And we have the psychology lab, the physics, chemistry, biology lab. If I add it up together, we have 50 topics which we are going to deliberate upon. These classrooms would be turned into exhibition rooms. The children are going to research on SDGs topics. The topics have been given. What are they expected to do has been given. They've started researching. They're going to do up the walls. They can begin right from the roof till the bottom as much as they want. The paints of the classroom is not a concern to us. These children are going to update it. They're going to put their research And then we involve the community, we involve the parents. The neighborhood schools of Phagwara and Jalandhar, they're invited. They visit the schools and they see for themselves. What happens is you develop communication skills of the students. You empower your students. You
Yeah.
tell them to think out of the box. They're researching. They are online. They use Chat GPT to write poems on SDGs. We believe AI is in, and we can't hide the children or keep them away from AI.
Absolutely.
So we're
Absolutely.
using AI in a big way. They're going to create images using AI. They're using Adobe, they're using Copilot. And then to the extent that when all these schools have joined us, if somebody doesn't know how to go about, we have gone for, I think, about 15 sessions have been taken by teachers of our school, the Kamla Nehru Public School, with teachers of other school to empower them about the tools which we are going to use. So look at the various facets of this particular Rise of a Peace. Empowerment of educators, empowerment of teachers, lots of support from UNODC when it comes. Not only these virtual, this thing, we'll be having some round tables also, wherein the physical meeting would be taking. So talking about what the practical aspect is, having the children showcase their research, their thoughts, have a legal cell created in the class, which talks about the challenges which they face, have issues about gender equality, have how crime is there, and how when it comes to crime, how there's a murder or there's somebody shot, that the blood splutters all around, how they can study that, the forensic science
Forensic. Yeah.
which we talk about, how acid victims are being affected, how chemical warfare is a problem. All this comes in SDGs. Looks simple, but it is a big goal. And so lots of research work is going on. We also going how coding can be helpful, how Minecraft can be helpful in creating a world where there is peace, justice, and strong institutions are developed. Everything goes into this particular festival, which goes for 7 days in a school, starting somewhere from 28th and goes up till 4th of May. And every floor will be on a different day, so that the other 2 floor classes on the other 2 floor can visit what the colleagues have done. So everybody sees everybody's work. That is why we have to span it for 7 days, right from class 1 to grade 12 is participating.
Amazing, amazing. I'm sure anybody, especially the educators who will be listening to this video, will have all the ideas of how they can sow the seed of SDGs in their own schools. And I will also be sharing ma'am's links wherever they can just contact her for all the details regarding Rise Up for Peace, which she's taken up now. And we can also register for this in your own schools, your teachers, your institution, the children, anybody can register and take and participate in the Rise Up for Peace. Peace is the most important aspect of one's life, because if you have no peace, you have everything around you, but you will never be happy. So for your happiness, for everybody's happiness around us, it is very essential, and especially the youth. So one of the stats which I was reading was that we have more youth now, but the representation of youth is less than the elder generation. So how do you think the elder generation are representing the youth when the youth are more in number? So we need more youth. UN has also taken up more youth now to represent in UN. So that is what has to follow in every institution. So then only the institutions will become very strong, because youth have that insight, they have that kind of a vision. We can always support them with our experience, but we also need their enthusiasm and their energy. So when we work together, we build peace, we have justice, and we build strong institutions. One last message in a line, ma'am.
Be leaders with a vision.
Yeah.
Yes, leaders with a vision, but let the youth practice your vision.
Right.
Turn it into reality. Guide them how to build a sustainable world, but let the students and your children build a sustainable world, because tomorrow is a place where they're going to spend their life, and tomorrow needs to be sustainable. I think it's a long
Absolutely.
line.
And for tomorrow to be sustainable, we have to start today.
Today,
So
yes.
right now we have to start, and we will not wait because tomorrow will never come. When it comes, it becomes a today. So be in the now and start working right now. Thank you, ma'am. It was really wonderful having you on the show. And anybody who is listening to my show today and would like to have some more insights, you can contact ma'am. And if you are also working in the same field, you can contact me and you can be the next guest here so that you can also inspire so many other people around us. And we have to continue to create these ripples of SDGs till we are going to achieve the target. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really wonderful having you and getting your insights. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you. A pleasure here. Namaste.